Hello, Cecil County and the world, and welcome to Cecil.tv, Cecil Weekly. It's November 6th, and I'm your host, Rob Chirnside. Tonight, we're going to start with some announcements of things that are going to happen and things that have happened. First off, Cecil County Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Diet Devine has been named the 2018 Maryland Superintendent of the Year and will represent Maryland in the National Superintendent of the Year process. Also, Cecil County Sheriff's Office begins their third annual No Shave November. And this is a campaign which benefits Camp Open Arms for kids with issues regarding their limbs, and we are going to share the link to how you can donate to this very worthy effort on social media. Thursday, November the 9th. The Maryland STEM Festival is at Rising Sun High School, 5:30 to 8, and that's free. Focusing on technology and students and things like that. Very worthwhile. It's free. Thursday, the 9th is, like I said, the STEM Festival. Friday the 10th is the Festival of Trees, starting in Northeast Maryland. It'll run every Friday through Sunday. It starts at West Street Village. That's on Main Street, that little shopping area off to the left as you go down Main Street. There will be a silent auction that will go throughout the event to proceeds benefiting CASA of Cecil County. And that entire Festival of Trees deal runs through December the 2nd. This coming Saturday, Cecilton will have the Crop Hunger Walk. United Methodist Men's Group is sponsoring this event, and the Cecilton Parish of that group. The annual Crop Walk for Hunger begins at 9 o'clock. Registration starts at 9 o'clock. Pre-registration will have a breakfast, and that will begin at 8. You can go to www.crophungerwalk.org/Cecilton, Maryland. And if you have questions, contact David Seegermark at 410-275-8516. Also this Saturday in scenic downtown Perryville at the Grist Mill, celebrate the opening of the Perry Point Veterans Museum. That's coincidentally Veterans Day. So make sure you want to be there. And before we get into our guest tonight, this past weekend, Cecil.tv was at the National Prescription Drug Takeback Day. So check that out on today's show. And now, Alison Donley will interview Liz Yates from Cecil County Health Department regarding the Affordable Care Act.
Good evening, I'm Alison Donley. For this month's Cecil County Health Department segment, we've invited Liz Yates onto the show to talk about health insurance open enrollment. Liz, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So first of all, what is health insurance open enrollment?
What is it? Mm-hmm. Health insurance open enrollment is for the Affordable Care Act. It's the one time a year that people can apply for a qualified health plan or change their plans for the year. And it's from November 1st to December 15th this year. It's shortened to 6 weeks.
Right. So who's eligible to sign up for health insurance during open enrollment?
We encourage anyone to sign up that doesn't have health insurance because they might be eligible for Medicaid. If they're not eligible for Medicaid, then we can let them know right away that they're eligible to purchase health insurance with assistance most times.
So you said open enrollment begins November 1st and runs through December 15th for Marylanders. I think it does vary by state. So how can Marylanders sign up for health insurance during open enrollment?
They can come into the Cecil County Health Department and apply to see if they're eligible for Medicaid or for a qualified health plan with assistance. They can also call the Maryland Health Connection, go to the Department of Social Services, or visit CEDCO offices in Elkton.
Okay. And there's a website too for the Maryland Health Connection.
Maryland Health
right?
Connection.
So the health department is a place where people can go and sign up. Is the health department doing any kind of outreach during open enrollment?
We've extended our hours for open enrollment. You can make an appointment at 7:30 in the morning, and we're open until 6. You can either make an appointment by calling 410-996-5126 or walk in.
Cool. So if you think you might qualify for Medicaid, or if you don't receive health insurance through your employer, you can sign up for health insurance online, over the phone, or in person at the health department and various other locations throughout the county and the state.
Also, if you have to submit documents or proofs, you can turn that into the health department, and we're able to verify them immediately.
Oh, that's a great resource. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Saturday, October 28th, was National Drug Takeback Day. To highlight that event, Elkton High School was the scene for a health fair, a trunk or treat event, and an unusual large presence of county, state, and federal officials who came to express concern about both the local and national opioid crisis.
Good morning, Cecil County. Come on. Good morning. What a glorious day that we have. My name is Virgil.
Officials spoke before a crowd of both costumed youth and adults concerned with the epidemic that increasingly touches so many lives.
Substance abuse is one of the most serious and most complex public health issues facing our county, our state, and our nation. Addiction is a family disease. Everyone, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, and neighbors feel the effects of substance disorder.
As the event occurred just days after President Trump's declaration that the opioid epidemic is a public health emergency, the presence of the acting secretary of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, Richard Baum, lent a heightened significance to the proceedings.
I was really proud to be at the White House with the president 2 days ago when he declared a national health emergency in response to this problem. This really is a huge crisis. It's here in Cecil County. It's all over the country. Every community is affected, people from every background, and we really need to pull together as a country to try and address this problem. The national health emergency will provide some additional resources and free us from some bureaucratic regulations that slow responses to this problem.
While the words of officials before the crowd and in a later roundtable discussion suggested unanimity about the need for local commitment and expressed praise for the work being done in Cecil County, the need for increased funding for treatment was central to the message local health workers tried to impart to the acting drug czar.
But I had to tell them, well, I'm going to put you on the list, and we might get to you in 3 weeks. Okay? We have this big plan up here to stop all this stuff. Well, we're already in the epidemic. And when you have somebody who comes in and is begging at that moment for help, where do you send them? I can't even send them to a methadone clinic because they got a long wait.
But don't you have somebody who you can connect them with, even if you don't have a treatment bed or a slot? Don't you have a family that's been affected, a recovery coach, a counselor?
Well, that's who I am. I'm the recovery coach.
Right.
There's not enough of me.
Right.
And so, while no one seems to be putting a price on the eradication of opioid addiction, we caught up with Acting Secretary Baum to ask what further actions we can expect from Washington to help with this crisis.
Mr. Baum, what new resources do you expect the administration or Congress to make available to fight the opioid epidemic?
Well, thanks for the question, and it's just great to be here in Cecil County at this really wonderful take-back event. There are a lot of resources coming to Maryland and communities like Cecil from the federal government. Overall, the president's asked for $10.8 billion for drug treatment. That money flows to the states already. About $10 million from the 21st Century Cures Act has come to Maryland. The announcement on Thursday of the national emergency will help more assistance flow. And really, though, the thing that I'm excited about as the country's drug czar is the energy and the catalytic nature of the announcement. We have this huge crisis in this country. It is an emergency. It's really important that we formally called it what it is. So I think a lot of good things are coming forward.
Great. Thank you very much.
For Cecil Weekly, this is Doug Donley.
So
Oh, over in Paris, France, the llama got into a little bit of trouble. It goes something like this. I got my shoulders to quit. But then again, I might. I got my shoulders to quit. But then again, I might. I bought a boy, big one. Who shared in that? See, I was over Paris. On the avenue. Looking for a man. I gotta stop over to you. Yeah, oh, yeah, the boot. I'm gonna teach you. Come on, Calibu. They say I say, before I am mistaken. Somehow, someday, somewhere, one way. I wanna be your man, yeah, yeah, yeah. Down there, let me. And you can teach me how to dance. We'll do the kiss and say, come on, give me a little check. Oh, yeah, the move. I'm gonna teach you to shoot. Oh, yeah, the move. I'm gonna teach you to shoot. Get the move, play. Come on, tell me. Red. They say I say, this boy I am, I'm thinking. Somehow, someday, somewhere, one way. I wanna be your man, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love you. The wood hit me. I thought I woke up in the pony. I down an old Paris. She was walking to my stairs. She was carrying the key. I said, oh, where's the boot? I'm gonna teach you to shoot. Oh, where's the boot? I'm gonna teach you to shoot. I put the boot away. Come on, tell the boot. You get the boot away. Come on, tell them. I'll get the boo boo away. Come on, tell them. Merci beaucoup. All the way to France.